Hello, on this almost next to last, let's say, day of the year. Very quiet weekend here at home, so it's just going to be an opportunity to reflect and to think about things and enjoy some good wine and food, which is really what I'm going to try to do. So tonight we are enjoying a bottle of Côte Rôtie. And this is so a Côte Rôtie by Rostaing, Domaine Rostaing, 2011 Côte Blonde. Côte Blonde is let's say they're maybe slightly more feminine, finer Côte Rôtie. It's from the Côte Blonde section of Côte Rôtie, so it's the terroir and the weather and the expositions are a little softer, let's say, than the Côte Brune, which is just kind of more broody and steep and kind of it's slightly more granitic, even more granitic soil, let's say. But anyway, it has a little bit of Viognier in it, as is often the case in Côte Rôtie, but I don't think London does, which is a second sort of the equivalent. Let's say they have these two Côte Rôties, the Côte Blonde and the London, that are both amazing, and then there's a Côte Brune that is sort of on top of everything. It's the finest cuvée, most rare, most expensive, all that kind of good stuff. And so this one has a little bit of Viognier. It is mostly whole cluster. The Rostaings, and we talked about this, they don't really believe in destemming grapes, and that's kind of something that often is the case in Côte Rôtie, as opposed to some of the other areas in the northern Rhône, like Cornas and Saint-Joseph, where they maybe destem a bit more and you have more generosity, more fruit as a result. 2011 was not a particularly amazing year. It was a good year. I don't think it was a bad year. There was no accidents, but some makers made some pretty good wine. And this is for a Côte Rôtie, a 10, 12-year-old bottle from a year that is not necessarily made to last forever. And again, these guys also don't use a lot of new words, so it should be the right time for it. If we look at the color here, you can see it's pretty red. It's pretty dark. It's sort of what you expect from the Syrah, and it hasn't really mellowed out. It hasn't evolved very much. It's just a very, very small, clear ring around the edge, but that's sort of what you have because of the alcoholic sort of shift here. You see not the very alcoholic wine actually. You see on the glass is 13%. On the nose, the funny thing in this one, since I first opened it, the first nose is just slightly Brett-like, so it's a bit of a turn off, and I saw some comments about that as well. But with a little bit of aeration, a little bit of oxygenation, you really just get the whole range of aromas here. It's got what you expect. The floral, the violet. It's got the fruit, sort of red fruit, not super sweet. There's a little bit of that tea, like bergamot, maybe from the Urglé, and it comes from the floral, but also dry and not sweet. So that gives you the tea sensation. A little bit of the sort of licorice, also just very, very faint. But it's just all really coming together beautifully. On the palate, you have a little more of that fine pepper, which is really typical of the Northern Rhône. And you have a bit of salinity that comes through. I think it's from the sort of overall umami sort of complex here that is in the wine. The violet, the fruit is again that sort of raspberry, maybe strawberry, not fully sort of ripe, a little bit more on the tart. Kind of nice, it kind of gives nice acidity. Rostaing is more of a burgundian sort of sensibility, and so their wines often have these layers and this complexity. Very nice, a little bit more subtle, typical of Côte Rôtie, with some of the key flavors if you want, but at the same time, well integrated, very round, and it just gives you this effort. Encourage you to put this effort into sort of peeling off the layers. On the finish, there's still that acidity, a little bit of tar mixed in with sort of dark chocolate sort of semi-sweetness. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it all comes together really beautifully, very balanced, very well made bottle of wine, very sort of harmonious, and it's really going to be a pleasure to work through this over the next 24 hours, let's say. Anyway, cheers, Happy New Year, and see you soon.